Good afternoon, everyone. This is your teacher, Claire Pan. Before we start our regular speaking class, I would like to show you some useful methods and resources to help you empower your English effectively and enjoyably. Let's start. In today's lesson, I'm going to divide it into three parts. First of all, we are going to talk about pronunciation because pronunciation matters when it comes to conversation. So you have to master individual sounds and also pay attention to suprasegmental features like stress, intonation, and the juncture. We'll get into details later. And the second part, I'm going to cover vocabulary. Okay, so because it's very important to enlarge your vocabulary size, you want to talk about something in more details. So you have to understand the word formation and origin in order to help you remember words very easily. At last, I'm going to present some useful resources that you can apply to pronunciation and also to help you improve your vocabulary. So, in pronunciation, as you know, there is a very close relationship between sound and the meaning. Okay, so usually when we try to recall a word, we recall the sound first. So we have to understand the relationship between sound and meaning first before we spell words out. And in pronunciation, respectively, there are two features. One is segmental features. Okay, so those features are about sounds of vowels and the consonants. Okay, so when we pronounce individual words, okay, we have to understand those how those sounds are pronounced. But sometimes we forget about suprasegmental features that also matter in terms of meaning, such as stress, intonation, and the juncture. Regular sound letters correspondence of phonics actually account for more than 80% of English words. So when you were little, you learned to pronounce the English alphabet and then you understand how to pronounce those alphabet in words. Okay, but you still have to pay attention to irregular common words because those are used very, very frequently in conversations. And in the example you see on the screen, for OUGH, okay, words with this kind of combination actually can be pronounced in 8 ways. First of all, cough. Okay, when you are sick, you cough, right? You say cough. Number two, tough. Okay, that means strong. Number three, bough. It's a part of a tree, like a twig or branch. Number four, dough. Okay, before you make bread, okay, you have to have dough first. You start with it. Number five, thought. It's similar to an idea. Through. Okay, like the cat goes through a box. Through. Number seven, hiccup. Okay, when you are full, you might hiccup. And the last one, lock. Lock refers to an Irish lake. So, do you think it's very difficult? I guess so, right? But don't worry, okay. For most of English words, okay, they can still be explained or remembered by the founding rules. You just try to remember those irregular ones. And I remember one time one of my students tried to say, "May I help you?" But he said, "May I have you?" Okay, so this kind of wrong pronunciation can cause a lot of misunderstanding. Another example is that I just want to be heard. This sentence comes from the lyrics of a song. Okay, that means I want people to understand me, right? But if you pronounce it wrong, you will say, I just want to be heard. Okay, so the last sound actually is voiceless. Okay, and why pronunciation of English is very, very difficult is that a lot of the words actually come from other languages. Okay, they are not English words actually. For example, when you go to 7-Eleven, right, a convenience store, you will see City Cafe. Okay, cafe. Okay, you know it's not English word. It's not English word. It's French. And there are other examples of French words like cliche. Okay, when things are repeated several times and you don't want to hear that again, right? It sounds like cliche. Chef. Okay, buffet, right? So those words are all French words. So you have to look out. You don't pronounce them according to the founding rules in American English. And there are other examples coming from French, Italian, okay, Chinese, even Japanese, okay. So actually, those words are commonly used in English, okay. But you have to understand their origin. Right, and next one, I'll give you one more example to show the relationship between French and the English. For example, in French, we say déjà vu to show you see something for the first time, but it seems like you are very familiar with that. Okay, so we'll call that déjà vu experience. Okay, or bon voyage. Bon in French means good, voyage. Okay, so voyage is like a trip. So bon voyage actually means have a nice trip. And bonjour means good day. So jour actually refers to day. That's why we have journal. Okay, we can keep a journal every day. We can have a journey. Journey actually originally means 1 day trip. Okay, so those words actually come from French. Okay, if you understand its origin, it will be easier for you to remember it. And as I mentioned, in addition to segmental features, super segmental features like stress, intonation, and junctures are also vital in communications. So stress usually stress syllables or words are pronounced louder or longer, and its pitch is usually higher. Okay. And for intonation, you have rising intonation and falling intonation. And juncture actually refers to the place. Okay, you pause within words or sentences. And let's see some example. Okay, so stress. Okay, when you have three questions like who is reading, why aren't you reading, and what are you doing? Actually, you can use the same answer, but if you put the stress differently, okay, your focus is different because stress usually conveys the most important information. So we have who is reading. You say I am reading. Why aren't you reading? I am reading. What are you doing? I am reading. Okay. And when it comes to intonation, you are French, aren't you? In this kind of case, you are like a 70% or 80% sure the person is French. But you say you are French, aren't you? A rising intonation, that means that you're not sure at all. For juncture, the first example, ever said the boss is stupid, right? You pause after said. So in this case, the boss is stupid, right? But Alfred said the boss is stupid. In the second case, Alfred is a person who is stupid. Okay. And for vocabulary, okay. I know you are familiar with this animated picture, this movie, Zootopia, and you see Zootopia actually is a word made of zoo and utopia. Utopia refers to an ideal world in our imagination, right? Okay, so we know that word formation is very important. And sometimes, okay, when we talk about word origin, okay, like goodbye, originally it means may God be with you. And for French and the Spanish, French adieu means goodbye. You see that literally it has the meaning of with God. And for Spanish, adios, a means with, Dios means God. Okay, so they all have this kind of common religious or cultural background. So if you want to enlarge your vocabulary size very largely, okay, try to use word formation of prefix, root, and the suffix. Like imperfection, okay, we have I am meaning not perfect. Per means through, that means do, okay, and ion is a noun phrase, okay. Also, another example, like credit cards. Okay, you just try to remember the word you already know and relate it to the new one. So cred means believe. So that's how you can remember credible, something that can be believed, right? Incredible, in. Okay, I means not. So something unbelievable, we say incredible. Okay, and you can go on and go on to have those common suffixes or affixes together to remember more words. And those are common Latin word roots. Okay, so you can get back to this later. And if you want to do this kind of meaningful learning, you have to link the word you already know to new word. Okay, so in this case, bicycle. So bi means two, number two. Then cycle means like a wheel is a circle, right? So uni means one. So unicycle is it's kind of bicycle, but just one wheel, right? And then you can go on to remember tricycle, right? Like three wheels, okay. And we can go on to talk about number with quarter, four. Okay, tri means three, penta means five, and octopus, octo means eight, right? Eight legs. And September, SEP actually, it means seven because in ancient times the Roman calendar actually has the 10 months already. So September used to be like July. And there are three resources I would like to introduce to you. If you want to change text to speech, okay, Natural Reader is a very, very useful resource. Okay. And if you want to get to know more news English, okay, words in levels, they will show three levels of the same text with a voice file for you to refer to. And the last one is a very, very useful translation tool. It's called 沉浸式翻译. Okay, it's an AI-driven translation tool for text and the videos. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about. So next time, okay, before our next class, try to find one each word of the 10 most common Latin roots individually and analyze their prefixes, roots, and suffixes and upload to our learning website before our next class. And this is for today. Okay, thank you very much. I'll see you next time.